Well, thank you all for being here. I am so excited and really shocked and thrilled. I'm now Miss America 2020. My name is Camille Schrier, and I am from Virginia. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and moved to Virginia in 2015 to attend Virginia Tech, which is my alma mater. I have 2 degrees from there in biochemistry and systems biology, and now I'm a graduate student at Virginia Commonwealth University pursuing a doctor of pharmacy. And this scholarship will go toward all of those bills that are going to come at me in the remaining 3 years I have of my doctoral program. And what I want to take a minute to talk to you all about is why I'm standing here, because it's because of the changes to Miss America 2.0. This is something that I never thought that I could compete in the Miss America organization. I always admired it. When Mallory Hagan was crowned in 2013, I was in Las Vegas, and I watched with my mom, and I just admired. And I kind of figured that I would never stand on that stage because I was a woman that did not want to get in a swimsuit on stage, and I didn't have a performing talent, which is really ironic now. And it took me that long to figure out that I did have talents, and when the organization changed to eliminate that swimsuit competition, it gave me an opportunity to come forward as a person who is a little bit different. I'm really out of the box, and that's really authentic to who I am, and I think that one of the messages that I really want to spread this year, it's not just about science. Do I love science? Of course I do. But it's more about being the woman who God made you to be. Be the person who you are. Don't try to be like anybody else. If I had ever danced or sang on the Miss America stage, I would have never been standing here. I would have never won my state title as Miss Virginia. And so it's those changes that brought me here and what will bring more women like me forward. Because what this organization needs right now is candidates and sponsorships. We need to pay bills. And as a scientist, I've been able to bring sponsorships to my own state of Virginia through chemical companies and large organizations, Fortune 500 companies that want to work with me because I'm different and I'm a scientist. And so that's something I'm hoping to bring to this organization at a national level. And so that's really what I'm excited to do, be able to spread my platform, my social impact initiative of Mind Your Meds, talking about drug safety and abuse prevention, getting naloxone in every single person's pocket, being able to understand that that's not just for drug addicts. It's really important. And talking about medication safety, it's something that we overlook, but every person in this room has probably taken a medication at some point or knows someone that has. And those are really important issues that we need to be able to face, and something that I'm excited to do as Miss America. And now I'm excited to be able to have completed this fabulous week, thanks to the Mohegan Sun. I've actually been here since December 8th, so it's been about 11 days. I have not been outside in 11 days, so I'm very excited to see the sunshine. My vitamin D levels are probably dangerously low. Excited to get some fresh air too, but I am excited to have been here at the Mohegan Sun. They have treated us very well. It's been a great experience for all of us, the other candidates. Thank you so much to Passion Roses for my incredible bouquet of roses. That was really exciting, especially to NBC, who has worked with us since the beginning of this process. I remember learning that we were going to be on NBC before I even competed for my state competition, learning the date and the location. And their production crew has been fabulous. I really enjoyed the way that the production went, except for the fact that I kept being the second to last one there, and they were like waiting, and there's me and one other person. It was like being a first runner-up almost like 4 times. That was a little scary. I had a little bit of a heart attack, so that was fine, but it worked out. Thank you also to Sherry Hill, who will be providing me wardrobe this year, and I'm really excited for this year. This is a really exceptional opportunity. I'm ready to redefine what this organization means and really bring this into the future, into 2020, and be able to show, just like I said on stage, that Miss America can be a scientist, and then a scientist can be Miss America. So thank you all very much. Yes.
How do you make Miss America more relevant today?
I think by doing exactly what I did, by doing a talent that was really outside of the box. I'm showing that I can be a woman who is poised and articulate, but I also love science, and I can bring in people that maybe had never seen themselves in the organization, kind of like me. And so whether or not your talent is, you're an artist, we had a couple really unique talents this year. We had someone that spun pottery, and then someone that did a speed painting, and I was so excited to see that, breaking out of the box, breaking out of the mold, and being authentic to yourself. And I think that we need to bring that down to all the children that Miss America talks to, that I'm not a beauty queen. I am really someone who has this position. I'm a brand ambassador for this organization, and I'm more than just someone with a crown on my head. Hi there.
Congratulations.
Thank
Debbie
you.
Turner Bell, Miss America 1990, but also doing double duty with BBC
Awesome.
World Service. I want to ask you, how will you reassure the volunteers and the supporters of this organization that the heritage and the history of Miss America will not be lost in the changes of Miss America 2.0?
I think that we're already seeing that. I'm wearing a crown. I still have the crown of Miss America. I'm a woman who loves an evening gown. We wore them on stage, and I think that we have a lot of the traditional aspects of Miss America and the things that always made it great. But just like maybe in 1921, where this was only a swimsuit competition on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, we're moving with culture, and we're going to remain relevant, but we need to change to stay relevant in this changing culture of our time right now. And I think that we need to adapt. And so that's something that I loved. I'm a traditional person. I mean, I love tradition, but I think that we need to change them to make things more relevant.
How do you perceive the Miss America pageant, or do you perceive the Miss America pageant any differently now that you've won the title?
I think I do because of Miss America 2.0. It's not the Miss America that I grew up watching, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to be an ambassador for the change of this organization and show that a woman like me who might have never seen herself in this organization, I'm a woman that has recovered from an eating disorder, and so putting myself on stage in a swimsuit wouldn't have been a healthy choice for me. And I think that women should have the opportunity to if they so choose, but particularly that wasn't something that I wanted to choose for myself. And so I think that we're changing this and bringing this into the future, into 2020, and being able to give girls like me an opportunity to earn a lot of scholarship dollars for my graduate education.
Could you just tell us a little bit about how you developed your talent and how you put it all together?
Yes, so the funny story is I competed in one local competition. I decided to do a local for Miss Virginia the first week of April on a complete whim and sprung it on my parents, and they were like, okay, well, what are you going to do for a talent? Because they know I don't sing or dance or play an instrument or do any of those kind of traditional performing talents. And so I always loved watching science demonstrations in my classrooms, but I'm particularly inspired by a woman named Kate the chemist, who is a professional science entertainer and a graduate she's actually a PhD from University of Texas at Austin, and she's a professor there. And she does this on talk shows, she does it for kids, and I loved that. And I'm like, I'm gonna do a small version of this. And so I bought my glassware and my chemicals on Amazon. You can buy a lot of things on Amazon. And I ordered them to my house, and I tested it in my friend's backyard. I brought it to a larger scale at Miss Virginia, and it really was a crowd pleaser. I wasn't sure how it was gonna come across because I know I have to be very engaging when I do it, and that's part of the thing that I do in schools. I bring this to schools on a smaller scale constantly to get kids really excited about science. So that's kind of the way that it's developed, but it's been something that I've been really passionate about, and I'm excited to be able to share something really different and take a risk, because I think it's important, especially in my generation, that people are afraid to take risks, and sometimes risks can pay off.
First, I want to say congratulations.
Yes.
Something that I love that you said on stage tonight is that you think that Miss America should have a seat at the table in terms of really, enacting change in our society. But in a time when people don't really understand the Miss America competition and maybe even Miss America 2.0, do you think that with this job you really can make change?
I absolutely think so, because I'm already doing it as Miss Virginia. I've had Fortune 500 companies reach out to me via media, and social media is a powerful tool. I had companies invite me to come to their corporate headquarters to talk about women in STEM and give me a seat at their tables very physically. And so I'm doing that already as a state title holder, and that's something I'll continue as Miss America.
Your answer about Miss America not being able to be a mother, many women in STEM are moms. I myself am a single mom. You talked about Miss America being a job. So how do you reach out to all those women who are single mothers, who are working mothers, when you've kind of just said, like, you can't be Miss America and be a mom?
I think that Miss America is a very unique job, and quite honestly, I'm worried about what I'm going to do with my 2 cats at home right now when I take this job and I'm on the road constantly, and I think that it just logistically would not be something that would be possible. I don't think that you could do both well, and I think that it's important. I took a year off from my education to be Miss Virginia because I wouldn't have been able to spend enough time being Miss Virginia or being in school, and I wouldn't have done either of those well, and I think that this is a very special job where you need to dedicate all of your time, all of your energy. And I think that that's why, particularly, I think that I stand by my answer, but I can understand the way that we might be able to include other people. And of course, I respect women that are, working moms, doing other things, but this is a very different job, I think.
How do you view the social impact of you being Miss America?
I think that I'm hoping I'm breaking the internet at this point. I haven't seen my phone or the news, but I'm the second woman ever to perform a science demonstration on the Miss America stage. First one to ever win a preliminary talent competition with that at the Miss America competition, and the first Miss America to ever do a talent like that, do a science demonstration. I think that I'm changing what it means, and I think that that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Steve Elton, Global Toy News. How are you? Virginia Tech graduate, by the way.
Oh, go Hokies.
Congratulations. Electrical engineer as well. So this is not a social impact question. Is there something you did or played with as a child that led you to a career or STEM and things like that?
I was always the girl outside with bugs and snakes, so it was kind of like a nature thing. I jokingly said that I wanted to be a naturologist when I was probably 4, because that was my best description of I loved biology. I grew up cooking in the kitchen with my parents. I was like a 6-year-old making yeasted doughs and making meringue, and that was really fun for me, and what I didn't realize was that was science. I had really inspirational science teachers who encouraged me throughout my time. My mom's also a nurse, so I grew up around kind of medical field, but I don't have like a specific moment or something, but I was always surrounded with things that allowed me to get in depth with STEM, and so that's something that stuck with me.
You talked about overcoming an eating disorder on stage tonight and overcoming other mental health disorders as well. What would you say to maybe young women or men out there who watched you tonight and watched you win? What message would you have for them?
I think that when you look at someone like a Miss America, it's very easy to perceive that person as someone who has never had struggles in their life, and that's so untrue. I think all of us have secret battles that we've faced, and I think it's important as someone who's gone through those battles and come out on the other side stronger for me to share my story with people so that they can understand that these are things that we go through. They're normal, and I think that when I was going through those particular disorders, I still struggle with obsessive compulsive disorder, and that's something that went untreated for a long time, but is something that has made me be more cognizant of people's invisible illnesses. I also have a genetic disorder, so I am constantly fighting battles inside of myself, and that's something that you don't see from the outside, but we all have those things inside of us that we struggle with, and so to be a voice for people who are struggling, I think that that's a really important job that I had this year.
History was made yesterday with our third president to be impeached. You guys were lacking phones and kind of out of the world, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
What was the buzz backstage for all of you strong women?
We were kind of trying to keep up to date. I'm a person that I usually listen to podcasts in the morning to make sure that I'm staying up to date on news. So we've had our phones throughout the week. We just lost them today before the broadcast. And so I've been staying up to date with the podcast that I typically listen to. The buzz was just kind of talking about this. We were all concerned that we were going to get an onstage question about the impeachment. So we were all very prepared for that. But that didn't actually end up happening. And so we're all just we're trying to stay in touch as much as we can. And that's the benefit of having our phones and technology. You know, it's something that we've been able to see coming. What I'm always interested in is that people woke up today thinking that President Trump was no longer the president because they don't necessarily understand how our government works and that it still has to go through the Senate.
Hi, my name is Kira O'Brien Murray. I actually work for the American Heart Association doing social media for them at this event. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Second, I love the red. Go Red for
Thanks.
Women, the American Heart Association. I just can't help but mention that.
Awesome.
Both of our organizations, both the American Heart Association and the Miss America organization, work to empower women. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women, and so I'd like to know a little bit more about how you think you might be able to empower women in the next year to taking care of their heart health.
As someone who is pursuing a degree in a doctor of pharmacy, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm someone, I think the perception of people in pharmacy and medicine is that as a pharmacist, I'm supposed to just give you medicine. But in reality, a lot of what we do is preventing people from having to need to take medicine. And so being able to talk to people about living a healthy lifestyle, being able to really have a well-rounded, balanced life, I think is so important. And that's something that I can advocate for both as a healthcare professional and as Miss America.
You might not have seen this, but there's a video going around from Miss DC saying that she was pressured not to talk about her social platform because it dealt with children and sexual assault. Do you feel like you felt pressure from the Miss America organization to conform to their idea of what a Miss America ought to be?
Absolutely not. I was very much open to being able to say and do what I wanted. They gave us a lot of flexibility, and I think that one of the things regarding what you're speaking of is being able to be flexible and adaptable with what the production is looking for and what the organization is looking for. And so I absolutely did not feel silenced. No one told me what to say. No one told me what to do. No one told me what to wear. I did everything exactly how I would like.
Hi, Anetta Constantinides from Business Insider. I just kind of want to piggyback on that because we were talking about how Miss America can be a place to talk about silent disorders and eating disorders. And so do you agree that sexual assault and survivors have a place on that stage as well? That's such a huge issue that affects women all over America.
Absolutely. I think I shared my own story of overcoming a challenge like having an eating disorder. And so I do think that women should absolutely be able to say what they're looking for and what's important to them.
You mentioned that winning the Miss America title is going to be a full-time job for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that you're going to take a break from pursuing your doctoral degree?
So I actually already have taken the year off from my doctoral degree to be Miss Virginia. My role as Miss Virginia was also full-time. And so I dedicated this year to being Miss Virginia, and now I jokingly told my university, who all were probably watching tonight, I'm like, well, we're going to find out if I'm class of 2023 or 2024 tonight, because I knew I was going to have to take another year off. And I had pre-warned them, but with the caveat of, we have a 1 in 51 chance that I'm not coming back next year. But they have been overwhelmingly supportive and so excited, especially because my social impact initiative is related to my career. To be able to take that on a national scale is really exciting for them.
Hello. And for fun?
What do I do for fun? Well, when I have time, I have 2 cats at home that are my little fur babies. I'm a crazy cat lady, I'll tell you that. I really enjoy cooking and baking. That's one of the things that I said I loved as a child and something I still do. I'm a meal prepper, which might be hard this year, but we'll figure it out. I enjoy floral design. I actually took a floral arranging class at Virginia Tech. That was like the only class I got to choose to take, because all of my other ones were like hardcore science classes. Most fun. I mean, it's a really enjoyable thing for me to be able to do. So I do, that's an artistic expression too. So it's funny because we talk about like, I'm a person that did a science talent, but in reality, I do enjoy art and other kinds of expression. And so when I do have free time, I do things like that. But I don't have a lot of it right now, and I presume I might have less this year. I am just me. That's all I need right now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you.